Hey, what's up, guys? It's Theo here. This is the first hand review, so bit of a trial run. But I had this hand yesterday or the day before. A pretty high value hand, and I feel like I misplayed it or something went wrong. Right, so we'll jump into it. There's only four of us at the table: small blind, big blind, me, and the dealer. Right, the button. Ace King offsuit. I'm first to act. I do three times the big blind. Right. Button folds. Small blind three bets me. All right. That's kind of what you're hoping for, right? You want to start getting this pot larger. This guy folds perfect. We're heads up. Premium hand. I four bet him. Right. Kind of hoping he calls at least. He jumps all in. I feel like I still have a pretty premium hand. I call. Let's see. Yeah, terrible flop for us. Nothing. Not a pair, plus we're in danger of losing to a flush. Maybe a straight, but I doubt it based on how he was betting. Okay, if he has any club, we lose to a flush. Or if he has a jack, I mean anything. We have no pairs. We got high card right now. And then another jack, yeah. That's my hand. My hand is I got a pair of jacks, the ace kicker. Alright, what does he have? Pocket aces. So not only did he have the over pair on me, but he hit the flush. So it got me thinking about how to play ace king offsuit pre-flop, especially in response to the 5-bet, kind of like he had when he shoved all in against me. Okay, so let's jump into Flopzilla here. Let's see, we got the villain on the small blind. So if you've never used Flopzilla before, all of these hands that are slightly darker than the others are hands he could possibly have playing in that position. We had what do we have? Ace of hearts, king of diamonds. So we'll check our cards here. And I've got 63% equity, 62% chance to win, based on his projected range. I mean, obviously that didn't happen, right? He's not going to 5-bet me with, Jack 5 suited. And one way we can help to narrow down what the villain might have is by using a GTO solver and using who bet in what order and how much can kind of help narrow down what they could have, as long as they're trying to play kind of optimally or play well. Okay, so we're going to jump into GTO Wizard. It's a GTO solver. If you haven't used one before, up here it's the positions around the table in the sequential order you have to move, right? Since I was playing right before the button, we can basically assume those two fold. I was the cutoff, right? I raised, button folds, small blind had the aces, he raised, big blind folds. So now we were heads up. It's back to me. So on this heat map, the black is hands that shouldn't be played at this point, so we're not even worried about them. You shouldn't have raised to get yourself into this position. The blue is fold, right? Toss it. Green is call. Red will be raise, right? So here's our hand. We got ace king off. We got red. Let's raise it. That's what we did. So what was that? That was the 4-bet. It's back to the small blind. We had pocket aces. Obviously, he's going in. Solver says all in. That's what he did anyway, right? He shoved all in. Came back to me. Solver says you call. That's what I did. So I saw that, and at least I felt, justified in the decision I had made there to make the call. But I still wanted to look into it a little further. I mean, for ace king offsuit to beat aces, I need 2 more kings to come in the community cards. I feel like that's kind of a tough ask, and I wanted to look into it just a little bit further. From here, I just went right into Google and I typed in ace, ace, versus ace, king off. This was the first site that came up, not a sponsor. It looks like they ran this hand it's 60.8 million times, which is kind of a specific number, but I assume they did this in a fair and honest way. But yeah, if you look, aces just takes us every day of the week, twice on Sunday. The odds were not in our favor. Right, we put in essentially half of that pot, right, if two of us go all in. We put in half the money with only a 6% chance of winning. And our most common way of winning was hitting a straight, more so than even getting two more kings to hit three of a kind. So if we jump back over to the solver here, in our bottom right corner we have this 16.49. That's the expected value of playing this hand, I don't know, 100 times, I think, and then on average you'll have 16.5 big blinds afterwards. But you can see we're still calling, right? The solver doesn't know if we're calling against aces, or maybe we're calling against queens or jacks, right? So if we go back to, right, aces versus our ace king off, very unlikely to win. We switch over to kings. Look, 70-30. Slightly more likely, right? We're just going to be trying to get that ace. It's our main way of winning this hand. Then we get down to queens. All right, and this matchup is pretty commonly referred to as a coin flip, despite it not being exactly 50-50, right? But you've got a made pair, and then on the other hand, you have what would be, top pair and over pair beating it. So, it's pretty close. I mean, they ran this simulation 123.7 million times. Another very strange number, but it's not quite 50-50 with the offsuit. If we go to queens versus ace king suited, I mean, we're only getting, 2% on our side, so you're closing the gap by 4% total, right? 2% on both sides, but queens still have the edge, but it's basically a 50-50 shot, which it isn't even really 50-50. Honestly, it's closer to 60-40. We're kind of hoping it's 50-50. Which, brought me back to this solver, right? If we're calling against aces, where we have a 6% chance of winning, if we're going up against pocket kings, 30%, yeah, we're really hoping it's queens, because then it's almost half, right? And you can't even think, well, I have a 6% chance of winning against this hand, 30 against kings, almost 50 against queens. Well, jacks must be 70%. No, wrong. It's still almost 60-40 if you're going up against pocket jacks. In fact, hold on, that's suited. All right. Yeah, look, jacks are even slightly better by 1/10% against our ace-king offsuit. Because same thing, same reason. They already have a made pair. We've got high card. Which also makes the opposite true and important to remember, right? If the roles are reversed, if we are the ones with pocket jacks, we have an edge against ace-king, right? We should be shoving all in. We have better pot odds. And that takes us back to the solver, right? Why are we calling with this hand? Putting in all this money when we barely have a 50% chance against these lesser paired hands, right? Well, if we go back a step to what the villain could have raised us all in with, maybe ace jack suited, king queen suited, right? Possibly. My guess is we get some of this EV right here not by playing against these other hands, but by making these, the hands he had raised with. Maybe he doesn't know what he's doing. Maybe he wants to raise, yeah, ace 5 suited. And then I found this kind of a throwaway Reddit comment by SnoopyFL that I think really kind of makes sense if you think about this in the context of everything we just went over, right? If you have ace king pre-flop, other players are trying to goad you into going all in against them. Players with aces, kings, jacks, queens, right? Because they know they have the made pair and you have to hit a card. You have to hit a draw to get top pair. So I think if you have ace king, especially at these lower stakes, and you're being 4 or 5 bet into going all in, it's probably a good sign to fold. But if you are the one who's being the aggressor in this scenario, if you're the one who's just been, 4 bet, it's your choice, and you're the one shoving all in, that can get some of these hands like jacks and queens to fold against you because they're thinking, hopefully, this guy might have pocket aces. He's got a made pair and it's better than ours. Right, yeah, so when he's 3 betting, I 4 bet. When they 5 bet all in like this, and you have ace king, that's time to throw it away. If the roles were reversed, we're hoping that by going all in on a 5 bet like this, we can get someone with queens, jacks, maybe kings to fold by them hopefully thinking we have pocket aces. And so I think despite, optimal game theory saying we should call here, I think in real life, for now, especially at the micro stakes, we're just going to muck these cards, live to fight another day. And, that's all I got for now, guys. So if there's anything I missed or glossed over too quickly, feel free to leave it in the comments. If not, good luck. I'll see you guys at the tables.